Hello again, everybody. It's Thomas, and welcome back to SFF180. It is Monday, 15th of June, 2015, and it is time once again for the mailbag, which is a pretty modest haul this week. As you see, only 4 packages, so we'll dig right in. A couple of announcements, though. First off, finally got my the first of my Chicago Nebula weekend vlogs cut together. It took a little more work than I expected it to, but it's a lot of fun. Hope you enjoy watching that. And also, don't forget about the BookTube SFF Awards, which are still going on. There's the entire second half of June still ahead in which you can nominate stuff. We've had really good response to the nominations so far, evidently. Only a few people making some basic errors, like nominating books that were not 2014 calendar year releases. Remember, that's what it's for, so, you know, don't go nominating things like Ender's Game or what have you. But apart from that, what we're going to be doing this coming Saturday, which is the 20th, we will be doing a live show. This is going to be hosted by Caitlin over at Kitty G, her channel Kitty G. And it is going to be taking place at 3 in the afternoon my time, which is Central Time. So that will be 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, 9 p.m. London time. Apart from that, you people know how to use the internet. You can convert to your own time zone as you see fit. So we will be, I guess, answering questions pertaining to the awards and just generally talking about them, and otherwise, who knows, cutting up and having a good time. So look forward to that. That's this coming Saturday at over at Kitty G. Okay? So without further shenanigans, let's get into the new books, shall we? See what we've got. Okay, here is a package telling me it's come from Simon & Schuster. Okay, this is something that I've been rather amused by ever since I first heard about it, and they've sent me one. This comes from Saga Press, and it's going to be out in stores tomorrow. And it is a book, in case you can't read the title, called The War Against the Assholes, which is something I thought I'd never see in my lifetime. But in any event, what's it all about here? Well, it says Mike Wood's moral code is enforced solely by his muscles. He punches his way through adversity, unfocused and explosive, until, knuckles bruised and in a rage, he meets Hob. Hob, best known as the kid who sat out Jim obsessively reading an enigmatic book on card tricks titled The Calendar of Slates, introduces Mike to the world of magic, worked by force of will and a war against the kind of wizardry schools that Hob and his fellow practitioners call the assholes. So this sounds very much like, a parody of urban fantasy, and, maybe a little bit of, poking fun at stuff like Harry Potter and what have you in any event. But yeah, this is an actual book, guys, and it's coming out tomorrow from Saga Press. I'm sure you'll find this a really fun read, especially if you're an asshole. And following that up, here's one that everyone is looking out for. It's Ernest Cline's Armada. Now, this is his first book since Ready Player One was a huge hit. This comes out the 14th of July. Ready Player One, like I said, big book, rave reviews, movies in the works, all the rest of it. And so here we go. In Armada, Cline has crafted another inventive, heartwarming, and completely nerd-tastic adventure. As it opens, high school student Zach Lightman glances out his classroom window and spots a UFO. Stranger still, the ship he's staring at is straight out of the video game he plays every night, a hugely popular online flight simulator called Armada, in which gamers just happen to be protecting Earth from alien invaders. Zach's sure he's lost his mind, but what he's seeing is all too real, and his skills, as well as those of millions of gamers across the world, are going to be needed to save Earth from what's about to befall it. Yet even as he and his new comrades scramble to prepare for the alien onslaught, Zach can't help thinking of all the science fiction books, TV shows, and movies he grew up reading and watching, and wonder, doesn't something about this scenario seem a little too familiar? Armada, which is already being adapted into a film by Universal Studios, well, there you go, is at once a rollicking, surprising thriller, a classic coming-of-age adventure, and an alien invasion tale like nothing you've ever read before, one that manages to simultaneously embrace and subvert science fiction tropes as only Ernest Cline could. In other words, this is going to be like level 9000 fan service, but still not without a great deal of entertainment value, hopefully. So let's look and see what the rest of this sell sheet package contains, because it's kind of thick. Okay, not a whole lot else except like 3 pages worth of, highly enthusiastic pull quotes, just in case there was any doubt in your mind that people like this guy. So, Armada, July 17th from Ernest Cline. This comes from Crown Books. And here's a little package from Penguin Random House. Assholes, Armada. Let's see if there's we can keep the letter A alliteration going, shall we? Well, we can't, but we do have this. This is the paperback edition of a book that I actually got back when it came out in hardcover, and I've been eager to read it. So now, once again, I feel, very sad and embarrassed because too many books and not enough time to get every single last one of them into the review queue as I would like. But this one I do want to read. It's Tiger Man. The author is Nick Harkaway. He's done a few books. He is the son of espionage writer John le Carré, whom I'm sure you've all heard of. But in any event, it says, Sergeant, well, a very pretty sell sheet. Look at all that. They really went all out. Sergeant Lester Ferris is a good man in need of a rest. After a long career of being shot at, he's about to retire. The mildly larcenous backwater island of Mancrew, a former British colony in legal limbo, belching toxic clouds of waste and facing imminent destruction by an international community afraid for their own safety, is the ideal place to serve out his time. There's an illicit black fleet lurking in the bay, spy stations, arms dealers, offshore hospitals, drug factories, and torture centers. Lester's brief, however, is to sit tight and turn a blind eye, so he drinks tea and befriends a brilliant internet-addled street kid with a comic book fixation. When Mancrew's fragile society erupts in violence, Lester must be more than just an observer. He has no choice but to rediscover the man of action he once was and find out what kind of hero the island and the boy will need. That's interesting. This is like... all the books this week seem, one degree or another, to be all about the relationship between the media and the entertainment that we enjoy and how that impacts our interactions with real life, doesn't it? But in any event, the paperback version of Tiger Man by Nick Harkaway is out the 23rd of June. And finally, this big old box, which appears to be a tour title. No, not a tour title, but they usually are when they come from St. Martin's Press, but this is an actual St. Martin's title. Alrighty then. So this is the ever-reliable annual Gardner-Dozois anthology of the year's best science fiction, and this is the 32nd annual volume of it. So here you go. If you're looking for, what was, I guess, the best and most praised SF short fiction of last year, Gardner usually manages to pull it all together into these collections. And this one is out July the 7th, 32nd annual collection. Features stories by Nancy Kress, Cory Doctorow, Elizabeth Bear, Ian MacDonald, Michael Swanwick, Lauren Bukes, Peter Watts, Alistair Reynolds, Ken Liu, and then even more names on the back. So pretty much anyone who's everyone, and everyone who's anyone, and everyone who's someone, and someone who might be someone, but might be no one, but is probably anyone and everyone at the same time, is probably in this book. Those of the canine variety, I can't say for sure. But in any event, Year's Best SF, Volume 32 from Gardner-Dozois and St. Martin's Press is out July the 7th. And that's all I've got for this week, folks. Interesting haul, though, however small, wouldn't you say? Light up the comments, let me know which of these books looks most interesting and exciting to you, which you'd like to see me prioritize in the review queue. And other than that, as always, thank you so much for watching. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you guys for joining up, being part of the SFF180 family. Share this video far and wide with your SFF reading friends, and above all, please subscribe if you have not done so. That's how SFF180 grows as a channel. And I will see you all again really soon in the next review videos, in next weekend's live show, and until then, happy reading.